Welcome to the We Out Here MMA show. We got Latinas, we got Latinos, we got Indonesians, we got Cambodians, we got Russians, we got Ukrainians. We got the whole world here, everybody. This is the We Out Here MMA whole world show. Welcome to the We Out Here MMA, not podcast, but show, but now podcast. Guys, we have a wonderful show for you today. I'm here with my co-hosts, my best friends, my husbands, my wives, my cousins, my tias, my tios, my
husbands. I like that.
Just said that.
I like when you call us your husbands. We're a collective group of husbands.
I like when you call me your Tio.
With that
instead
accent.
Of Theo.
Yo, what's
instead
up,
of
Tio?
Theo, it's Tio.
Tio Von. It's like the Latino Theo Von. Guys, we have an awesome show today. We're going to recap no fights because UFC decided to take a break after putting on 100 fights in a row. But we are going to talk some fight news today, and we're going to have a special guest, possibly. Who knows? Maybe. And we're going to talk about our picks and fight analysis for this week's card with Overeem and your boy Volkov, who is tall as fuck. He's tall. He should be in the NBA. Guys, to start off the show, Alex, before we jumped on, you were talking about how you were waking up in the middle of the night, vomiting, and it was painful. Explain yourself.
No, but like, so when I did wake up, like I looked all around my bed and like my pillows just to make sure I throw up or something?
Pee in his bed, yeah.
Or no,
it was just
and then
poop though. It was mostly just poop.
But it just like all
I didn't throw up, thank God.
In my throat was just burning like acid, like that weird acid shit, like when you're about to throw up or something.
But what did you eat?
I ate pizza, and I think what it was because I ate healthy all week, and then it was Saturday, and I was like, fuck it, we were celebrating my friend's birthday, and I ate like 5 pieces of pizza that was pretty greasy. I think that just like was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? What you doing, bro?
Did you take your Lactaid?
No, I didn't take my Lactaid either.
Well, hey, I think Sherlock Nick figured it out.
But I went to sleep around 12, woke up at 3:30, and been up since. So let's get it.
Okay, and Nick, what are you drinking right now? And also, do you have a new facial regimen? Because your face looking kind of fresh, tired.
Whoa, dude. Okay, man. All right. Well, one, we had some Onezo boba because you got us. Once you ordered it for us, that's all we do is we drink Onezo boba. So, and then my skin is feeling real nice because I'm trying this new skincare regimen. I felt like I should take care of my skin, but so far it's making me feel like shit. So this is a great start to the new year, and I'm feeling happy. And I think it's just really dry in California because when I was in Hawaii, I felt great. No dry skin.
I have dry skin too.
No, your skin looks soft, bro.
After I take a shower, all of this right here is completely dry. My skin down here is dry. My eyebrows are dry. My arms, all dry. I have horrible skin, to be straight up with you.
There he goes, ladies. He's single, and he's ready to mingle and have lotion put on him.
What about you?
I'm gonna give you stuff. Who recommended this stuff? I'm gonna recommend some stuff to you. You guys know about my ankle. Let's not talk about it, okay? I feel like that was a little shot. When you said dry, I saw your eyes look at my ankle from your screen.
I went down.
That's kind of fucked up, man.
That's also right in here in my nose. One of my ex-girlfriends gave me this like lotion called like Kiehl's or some shit like that.
Kiehl's is good. That's what I use.
It's like that's an expensive lotion.
But I don't know where to get it from, so I don't have it anymore. But I used to rub it on my nose because every morning
they're very popular. Kiehl's is a very popular brand.
No, they're so unpopular. I don't know where to get it. So
send it to them all. There's a giant store that says Kiehl's.
No, they spell it wrong there though, so it's not the same spot.
Nah.
Okay.
If Alex at the mall, if you want to fight Alex, you can find him at the mall next to Wetzel's Pretzels. He'd be there. 6 o'clock.
I'm more of an Auntie Ons kind of guy, but whatever,
Auntie Ons do slaps. Hey, but Cinnabon, bro, I don't get it. I always just like to smell it because there's like 3,000 calories in one of them, but they're so good.
You know what though? The last time I had a Cinnabon, it's not as good as it smells.
No, dude, it's not.
They used to be way better.
I used to think about Cinnabon and be like, it's the best thing ever. As I got older, I was like, I can get this without my parents' permission. Got one? Not that good.
Not that good.
No, it's good. It's never failed me. It's always lived up to its hype.
And it always weighs 7 pounds.
And Alex, every time Alex eats it, he wakes up in the middle of the night with blood on his throat because of his
poop in his throat too.
Bro, it's horrible too because I already have bad allergies. right now because it was insane hot, and then it was insane cold, and then it was raining, and then it stopped raining, and then it rained for 2 days, and now it's cold again. Your boy's hating life right now.
Guys,
but we out here, so let's turn up.
We out here, so let's go. We're all kind of sick, and I still have my foreskin. Let's go, baby.
Oh,
Alex, what's that in my ear? Oh, really? Yeah, Nick can't do it with us. Nick's a fucking loser. He got circumcised. Welcome to the We Out Here morning news at 8 p.m. Guys, we've got some news for you. Gaethje on Poirier's KO McGregor. I love seeing a piece of shit get put down. Ooh. Thoughts? Is Gaethje trying to set himself up for the money fight with McGregor? Or was that a legit like, oh, Conor McGregor's a piece of shit. I don't want to fight you. You're out of the UFC. What do you guys think about that? Do you even like that fight?
I feel like Gaethje is on one of those guys that is as real as it gets. He's not going to cut any promos. He's just going to call it like the way it is. And I think he genuinely doesn't like. They were going back and forth at each other on Twitter or something like that. So I really feel like he just wants to beat the shit out of Conor. But that'd be a good fight. I think any fight with Justin Gaethje is an amazing fight. So yes, I would love to see him fight Conor.
Alex, do you think he's setting himself up for that fight, or is it more like I think he's just trying to diss him straight up?
I think he just doesn't like Conor McGregor. So he said that after Conor McGregor punched that old man in the face for not wanting the alcohol or whatever. Gaethje
should have wanted it though.
Gaethje wanted to beat the shit out of him since then. So I'm sure he genuinely was just happy that Conor got his shit fucking fucked up by Dustin the Diamond Poirier, the heart of Louisiana Lafayette. He beat the shit out of Conor McGregor, who's not even good at MMA.
Okay, you're pushing it, buddy. You're pushing it, buddy. He's
I don't understand
why
no one likes Conor. What's up with that, dude?
Hey, you know what? I like Conor though, because every time he loses, he takes it.
He does nothing wrong, dude.
He's respectful, but I can't wait for, all right, bro, or AKA these other people that do MMA podcasts that are big. I've seen videos of him training, bro. This is Conor 3.0. Then he's going to lose. And then again, I've seen some videos of him, bro. He's looking dangerous. Conor 4.0 coming. So it's just going to happen every time.
5.0. He's ready for fucking 5.0, bro.
I'm a Conor dick rider. He says that all the time. I'm a Conor dick rider, and even I will say he didn't look as good as usual.
Yeah. Or the whole, he was 100% sure Conor was winning. He was going to knock him out. And then after he loses, but you just have to look. They were setting him up for failure because I'm like, okay, now all of a sudden.
And Dustin's a big boy on fight night. He's a really big guy on fight night.
He is. He's so big.
He's like, oh, he's so big. Like that.
I'm low-key about to order some of that hot sauce when it's back in stock, though.
Oh, is it not? I was going to order some. Damn.
I don't think it's in stock right now.
Yeah,
good for him. He's selling out, baby. Good for you, DP.
We should all buy it and take a shot when we get it in honor of Dustin. All right, guys.
I can. You guys can't. But
as you guys know, something we all have wanted this whole time is Jake Paul is going to fight Ben Askren. The fight we've been asking for. It's here. We've been seeing the media. Everyone's been talking about it. But everyone wants to get Alex and Nick's thoughts and my thoughts on this. So hit us with it. Because Stephen A. Smith, you're nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Alex.
Or like last take.
How do you take this? First of all, do you think Ben Askren... Do you think... How about this? Do you think... Who's going to win? Because I
think Ben Askren's going to win.
Interesting. Nick, what do you think?
I don't know.
Give me the quick answer.
I really don't know.
Quick answer.
Okay, so...
Here we go.
Quick answer?
Quick answer? Hey, Alex, what did I ask him? What the fuck did I ask this guy? Did I say long?
You cut out.
I heard, but then again answer, so...
So here's the thing.
Roll your eyes farther back, please.
I'm going to do a 10-minute ramble on this, so Gabby and whoever's editing this, good luck. Man, I'm really conflicted. I think Jake might win, dude. But no. I think Ben Askren going to win. I think he's going to win.
Oh, you guys are being serious.
No, I think Ben Askren's going to win.
I think Jake Paul knocks Ben Askren out.
I think, bro. I don't know. I'm really undecided. I need another week, but I'm leaning towards Jake Paul.
I'm leaning towards Jake Paul. When that fight happened, I was like, oh, he could win it. But I'm like, bro, like out of all the MMA fighters, why do you think Jake wanted to fight Ben Askren?
Well, he did it on purpose. It's very genius, actually.
Look at it. He called out Dylan Dennis and Ben Askren. Like, look at the people he's asking to box in MMA.
He was barking up the Michael Bisping tree.
Are you
for
dumb?
no reason.
You'll die.
For no reason, just to kind of create the hype.
God, I think Jake Paul should fight Jason Perillo.
And because of that, now Jake Paul could be like, everybody wants to see me fight a real fighter. Ben Askren's a real fighter, but everyone knows he is. He's definitely a real fighter, but everyone knows that striking wise, if you watch him hit mitts, you'd be like, oh, geez.
It's hit mitts. Watch his fights in ONE FC and Bellator.
Yeah, but that's different though, because whenever he fights, his path to victory is through the takedown.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even have to see him hit mitts. Like his fights.
But when he punches, like mechanics wise, like just technique wise, you're like, oh, dude, I could take 80 punches from Ben Askren and I think I'll be all right. That's what anybody would think.
I kind of want to see that too, though. You getting punched by Ben Askren 8 times while Alex is vomiting in the back.
It is bad.
And then who's in talks? I saw this. Is it Ben Askren or is it Jake Paul also in talks to box Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz?
I think they want Nate Diaz. He don't want Nate.
You don't want.
I think he wants Nate. He wants.
You don't want. You don't want Nate though. You want Ben Askren.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone. I just want Alex. I want revenge after he knocked me out on the first day I trained with him. That's all I want.
I want Alex to fight Jake Paul.
That's what I want.
Alex would. I think Alex would take it seriously, and he would probably
That's
cut
what I
the
want.
weight.
That's what that's the real money fight. And Alex got to cut a promo this weekend. And
cut a promo right now.
I'm the real money fight, motherfucker. Like
cut a promo right now. Go.
Jake Paul, I would literally knock you out in like 2 rounds.
Good, love it. The guy's fucking chairs moving back and forth. He's like, hey, like if you're available, like, do you want to like fight sometime? Like, what are you doing?
Like, can it even happen?
Etc. Hey, you want to know why?
That's always good in a promo. Say etc.
Why I think Ben Askren's gonna win? Because like he didn't ask me why.
I know because Nick did his thing where I asked, give me the quick question. But then Nick did his whole. He actually did his rant. I was surprised. I thought he was joking. Alex, why do you think Ben Askren wins?
I think Ben Askren's gonna win because the fight's gonna go longer than like 3 rounds, and then Jake Paul's gonna be like, "Oh fuck, I can't knock this guy out," and then all of his will is gonna break, and then Ben Askren's just gonna start beating the shit out of him, and he's gonna TKO him.
You know what? Fuck, now you sold me on that. Damn it.
Can I?
Ben Askren's an actual fighter, and he's fought a lot. Yeah, he's fought a lot of people in MMA and gets the takedown and shit. But even me just watching him fight Damian Maia. I mean, Damian Maia's not the best boxer, but I mean, he could still punch and throw and shit. I mean, he just ate absolutely everything like that. Yeah, I mean, he got knocked out from Masvidal by a flying knee, but other than that, he hasn't really ever been knocked out. So it's like for someone that, I mean, I know he looks like I know Jake Paul looks good and shit, but I think he looks better than what we all think he does because of who he fights. Definitely. So, I mean, obviously he's going to look insanely good when he's fighting a basketball player that trained for a month and a half, 2 months for the fight. And then he's going to look good against someone that literally was holding their hands like this. I mean, of course he's going to look good against those people. But I think this is an actual fighter. Ben Askren, I'm pretty positive is going to be able to eat all these punches, especially when it's bigger gloves. And then I think just over time, Ben Askren will just wear him down and beat him up. It's not going to be pretty, but I think he'll beat him up. At some point, Jake will get tired, and Ben Askren will start actually landing shit.
Yeah. Damn, I can see that now, too. What I would love is, I hope they don't stipulate this in the contract, kind of like how Floyd and Conor had, where like Floyd's legal team really was like, hey, he can't do these things in the ring or he will be fined, right? I hope that Jake's team kind of just glosses over and doesn't really think about it, and Ben Askren just takes him down immediately, to just take him down really hard right when the bell rings, and then just like a point taken away. But I just wanted to do this. So,
I feel like in the clinch, Ben Askren's path to victory is just clinching him and dirty boxing him, and just like what Alex said, just wearing him down. And I feel like eventually he's going to be able to tee off on him a little bit, but it's also like Ben Askren just. He could also just get cracked too, like
that's because
he can't, like he could only escape the hands.
He's a little bit of a stiff guy standing up.
But after like 2 rounds or 3 rounds, because the fight's what, like 9 rounds or something. Yeah, it's like a weird number.
Yeah, it's like 8 or 9.
Give me your final thought on
8 or 9 rounds. Jake Paul wins.
There we go.
Loses. Ben Askren wins.
Nick, for real, you think Jake? Don't be afraid. Yeah. You sure Ben Askren?
I'm not afraid. This is just what I go back and forth on it.
Look at it. Your neck's disappearing. You're hiding more into your shit.
But I do got Ben Askren though. I think Ben Askren actually wins like in a later round TKO stoppage because Jake Paul is going to get extremely tired once he realizes he can't knock out Ben Askren. He's going to try his hardest to knock him out in the beginning. I don't think it's going to happen, and he is going to exhaust himself.
Boom. Guys, also, UFC is finalizing the Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa fight for April 17th. I don't know if this fight's going to have enough hype, but I'm very excited for it just as a matchup. Let's get some early picks in for this. Who do you guys have? Whittaker, Rob. Costa. Ooh, who said Rob? Rob all day?
Rob all day.
Why?
Just because he's handsome. He has a beautiful New Zealand accent.
You don't think Paulo Costa's handsome? Then you're stupid.
He's just not my style, bro. He's not my style, dog. He's
not his type.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. He just seems kind of like a head case, especially after the last fight. So I think
Nick's picking with his emotion. Nick is picking with his emotion. Doesn't know how to do it.
Sliding Paulo.
Watch a professional make a pick. Alex, go ahead. Be cold. Be calculated.
So I like Paulo Costa. Remember, I thought he was gonna be able to win. I've been a fan of him for a while because he like trains with my friends out in Arizona at Fight Ready and all that type of stuff.
Name drop.
But before Paulo Costa came around, I was a big fan of one person.
Who was it?
Bobby Car Crash.
And it was Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker, baby. I honestly think Robert Whittaker is probably going to finish Paulo Costa.
Ooh, with a head kick, I believe.
No, with his hands. Robert Whittaker is so good. I mean, Izzy beat him, but then, I mean, you've seen him come back. You fighting Darren Till, fighting Jared Cannonier. He's so good. Robert Whittaker is so good. I honestly do think, like, him against Izzy is still a really hard fight for him, but I feel like he could find a way to beat Izzy. I think he has the best chance out of every middleweight that's in the current middleweight.
Yeah.
But I think he beats Paulo Costa almost kind of like how Izzy did. I think he knocks him out. Because Robert Whittaker's hands are fast. He's so good in and out. He has that little like bunny stance where he's like hopping all the time and shit. So yeah, I'm a huge Costa fan, but I think Robert Whittaker. This is a pretty. I don't. It's not good to say, but I think this is an easy fight for him, straight up.
Yeah, I think naturally I would also choose him as well. But man, something about Paulo Costa, the idea that he was almost embarrassed by Izzy, and a lot of the narrative from him, from the media, from the critics, from us, the fans, was, bro, you did not press forward like you've done in your past fights. So I feel like he might have some variation of a chip on his shoulder or something to prove, which I think will put him in danger because, I mean, that's what Robert Whittaker is so good at, the in and out, like you were saying, the Machida style, the counter. But man, if Costa can just get in there, take those shots, and do the bullies thing he was supposed to do to Izzy, or even just like when Nick was saying for Askren, if he just dirty him up, just sit on the fence, then I think he's got a shot. So I'm gonna have to go for Costa, even though I got a Bobby Nickel shit.
Wow, bro.
Costa. Also, I thought Costa beat. I also thought Costa beat Izzy. Honestly, robbed.
He was
fuck you,
up.
guy. Fuck
He
you.
was good.
Early stoppage, bro.
Early stop. He was doing this the whole time.
Yeah, he was like.
Oh, looks like we have a special guest right now, guys. I mean, we out here is just coming with the guest.
The guest.
We've had Mexican martial arts. We'd have the owner, Dylan from Superwear. We've had David So from the David So universe. We've had freaking Alex and Nick from Big Mad every single week. You have me from Tiger Belly. I mean, we just have so many guests, and we got another one coming in hot. It's only proper to give him a proper intro, which is proper, sponsored by Proper 12. Give it up for your boy, McDojo Life. He's known as McDojo Life, but also they call him the White Stallion. They call him the Thriller Not in Manila.
Y'all don't see what the hips are doing.
Gang sign!
No, that was just me pointing at my penis. That was not.
That's why he points at his penis.
Up, everyone. Welcome to the show, McDojo Life, a.k.a. Rob, a.k.a. last name unknown. We're going to keep it unknown. That's how secret
it stays
this guy.
unknown.
It's Rob Dojo.
Rob, thank you. Yeah, right. Rob, thank you for coming on the show, the We Out Here MMA, not podcast, but show, but now podcast. We're big fans of you. We're going to just put it out there. We're like everyone's a Connor Dick Rider. We're a McDojo Life dick rider.
Well, there's
You don't know
plenty of dick to
McDojo
go
Life.
around, so I appreciate the love.
Just off the bat, I think the main question is, first of all, how did you even start this page? How did you start the brand?
Well, that's pretty easy, man. Like I've been doing the martial arts for 23 years of my life, right? So I started in karate and I did boxing, I did kickboxing. I was on an international kickboxing team. I was actually on the same kickboxing team at Sage Northcutt, funny enough.
Wow.
Really?
Wait, did you do the did you ever compete like in NASCA tournaments or anything? Or
Yeah,
ISK?
we did NASCA, ISKA, WACO, which basically like NASCA and ISKA are kind of the same kind of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so did all those NBLs, couple NBL tournaments, which I fucking hated because they have really stupid system.
You were kickboxing and point sparring, right?
Yeah, so like whatever our sponsor would pay for. So we were like, yo, we want to fight. And he was like, we'll do these tournaments. You have to do at least 3 divisions. And I was like, what? I don't want to do like katas. He was like, well, you have to if that's the only thing available. And I was I would just sign up for every kickboxing thing, every point fighting thing, anything that involved us hitting people. That's what I wanted to do, which is why I got so pretty today. Ruined my modeling career.
Dude, that's crazy because I used to compete in the NASCA stuff too when I was younger. But I did like a lot of the musical forms.
You did tricking, so you did all the acrobatic.
I did all the flamboyant, non-useful stuff in real life applications. But I'm an actor, so it helps, you know. Special skills.
Yeah, y'all make more money. Fighters spend more money. Trickers make more money.
Did you ever fight Raymond Daniels? Or have you ever fought Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in that one weird ass league with the inner? You guys want to talk about the inner
dome?
cage?
Yeah. I think Boss Ruben runs that one, doesn't he, or something?
That was Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris Combat League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do have a Raymond Daniels story, but I never fought Raymond Daniels because we weren't in the same weight class.
I want to hear it.
And so in the NASCA circuit at the time, I don't know if it's still this way because I'm old as fuck. But in the NASCA circuit back in the day, it was like NASCAR. So you kept points throughout the year. So if like you were fighting in like the lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, whatever division you were, if you moved up or moved down division, you lost all the points for the year. And you were forced to go to those divisions and you could not go back to the division that you were in. So for instance, if you were lightweight and you fucked around, messed up your weight and you go to middleweight or whatever, then what would happen is you'd be stuck at middleweight. You were no longer even allowed to go back to lightweight for the year.
Interesting.
So you had to keep your points for whatever it was. So it was very strict on your weight. And so, of course, which was ridiculous because it was like you got to weigh in like a day or two before. So it wasn't that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
So like you weighed in, right, casually whenever you felt like it, and then you got in there. Well, a friend of mine we were at the US Open. I don't know if anybody knows about the big boy, right, in Orlando. And so there's only a couple tournaments that big in the world when it comes to sport karate. And the only other one I can think of is the Irish Open, which is a very big tournament, but it's all just for fighters. So my homie is on our team before I got picked up on another team. And he draws Raymond Daniels first round. In my head, I'm like, you're going to get fucking wrecked.
Is this Paul Mitchell? Is this Paul Mitchell, Raymond Daniels?
I don't think Paul Mitchell was ever on Raymond Daniels. I don't think Raymond Daniels was ever on Paul Mitchell. He was always on All-Star.
All-Star, that's right.
Yeah. So I think they wanted Raymond Daniels bad, but I don't think that he ever went with that. I think he was on All-Star forever because that was his team.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Raymond Daniels, he picks him first. And Raymond Daniels at the time in sport karate was already a legend before he became kind of famous in the Bellator circuit and glory kickboxing. So I was like, in my head, I'm going, you're going to get fucked up. And then of course, you're not going to tell that to your homie. You're not going to be like, yo, dude, this dude's going to fuck you up in your face. Like, you never do that. So I was like, you got this. And I was completely lying to the man. And so he winds up picking Raymond Daniels first. And right off the bat, Raymond Daniels jump spinning and hook kicks him in the face.
Of course.
Oh, my God.
And that's what Ray does, right? He jumps spinning everything, right? But he winds up hitting the tip of his nose, like with the hook kick. So hits him with the heel, and it relocates his nose to his cheek. It was the worst broken nose I remember ever seeing because it was just went whoop. And I was like, holy fuck. Well, at the time, unfortunately, like the way that the NASCA circuit did their rule sets or whatever, like you weren't allowed to do that. You couldn't like break people's noses or knock them out. It was supposed to be like a medium to light contact tournament. So it wasn't supposed to be full contact. And so,
Raymond.
of course, like,
Not Raymond.
no. And so he relocated my dude's nose, right, which technically would have disqualified Raymond Daniels. And so what the officials did was when my dude got hurt, my friend got hurt, they actually set a chair in the ring, like in the middle of the ring. And they set a chair down and they sat my dude in the chair. And I was like, holy fuck, like, this is a big deal. Like, you technically got the guy, Raymond Daniels, disqualified, who's supposed to win the whole thing. You got him disqualified in the first fucking round. And so I was like, look, dude, do you think you can keep fighting? And he was like, dude, I got to go to the hospital. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. And so what happened was, the rule was you had to arbitrate that. So you would literally had to walk in and say, hey, I need an official. We're gonna arbitrate this and say, look, he obviously broke the rules. He should be disqualified if the referees don't do that. Well, they're not going to do that to their golden meal ticket, right? So like, they don't say shit. And so I walked in the ring and I was like, dude, get an arbitrator. Like, this is easy. This is like a slam dunk. Raymond Daniels is out. One of our other dudes in this division can run this whole fucking thing now that Ray's out of here, right? And what do they do? While my dude is sitting in the ring, in the chair in the middle of the ring, they start the next division. Because technically you couldn't arbitrate after the next round had started. And so they were fighting. No shit. They were fighting around my friend who was in the middle of the ring in a chair. And they were like, ready to go. I was like, what the fuck?
God.
Like, there's a guy in a chair in the middle of the ring. Why would you continue to do this fight? And so, but like, that's how they got around it. And Raymond wound up, of course, winning that entire division that year.
Dude, tournaments are so weird. Nick, or even Alex, because I know Alex, you've done a. Was there anything weird in any of your fighters that you cornered, or any what's the jiu-jitsu tournaments? Any weird shit has happened?
Okay, so my first fight that I've ever cornered was my buddy that fought in Saboba Casino. And
is that a real casino, or is that from SpongeBob?
The real casino?
Jesus,
it literally might as well be. It's on an Indian reservation, right? So
I love boba.
Yeah, this podcast is all about boba.
Dude, we're warming up in a bathroom stall because that's what happens. The guy that we were supposed to fight just didn't show up on fight night. So we're warming up and they tell us, they go, hey, you know what? And this has happened several times since I've been to Saboba. This is just commonplace. They ask the guy, they say, all right, we're going to find a fighter for you. So they start going into the crowd, start asking people if they want to make $200.
Come on.
And they start asking cornermen, hey, do you want to fight? You want to fight? You want to fight?
Are they asking you?
Yeah, exactly. But this is a pro fight. This is literally goes on. This is a gladiator challenge. And guess what? We got a fighter. He was a cornerman. He fought in cargo shorts, and my guy got the W.
That's some shit Alex would do. Alex would be like,
bro, it's all nonsense. Like, wherever you go, there's always some bullshit, dude. You just never know. You really don't know.
Our fight was kind of like when I did that little Muay Thai thing. It was like that. It's like you couldn't knock the person out or you got disqualified or something like that. Yeah, and it was. I remember when we did it though, when we're face to face with the guy. So you get your opponent the day of. So I didn't get to know who I was fighting or what I was fighting or anything like that. So I ended up getting the 6'5" guy, and so. You know, I was just like, all right, cool. I mean, I'm
Alex, tell him how tall you are.
Right. Tell him, tell him how
5'6",
but 500 pounds.
Yeah, so it was at heavyweight, right? So I'm 5'6". I got the guy who was 6'5", and then right when we're like facing off, they're like telling me, he's like, all right, well, you guys can go like 100%, but if someone's 100% is here and the other person's is right here, then we're gonna have to stop the fight.
So
I was like, convoluted bullshit like that.
Yeah,
that's the most and all the rules are loopholes, so they can make it legal. That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what they had told us. Like basically, like the owners of this federation and a different federation had a falling out, so they're trying to start it, but legally they can't do exactly the same stuff as them. So every single thing was just like, we have to say this so we can legally do it. We have to say this so we can legally do it. And then also they told us because we were heavyweights that it was the last fight, and then we ended up being like the second or third fight. Like we weren't even ready at all, so like I had to run into the back to go get shit, and
you're like getting your mouthpiece still molded.
Bro, me and Nick literally did 2 super easy rounds of just mitt work, and we're sitting out there we were sitting out there watching people fight, and they're like Acosta, and I forget the other guy's name. I was like, oh shit, I thought we were last. So we just ran and grabbed the stuff and went and fought.
Alex was cold as shit.
Yeah, I was like, all right then. It's a nervous game though. It was weird.
Straight up hard. Like,
yeah, dude, poking through the shirt.
Like I didn't even have time to get nervous, because it was so just like, oh, you guys are up. I was like, oh shit, okay. I mean, let's go, I guess.
It's like, sir, we have to say this. You do have to relax your nipples before the fight. It cannot be that hard.
Legally,
they're like, why are you erect?
Like, that was one of the rules before the fight started, so it took a little longer.
So Rob, so from all that, how did you start?
All right, we went from Raymond Daniels to nipples real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, we out here, baby. Let's go.
Hey, man, everybody's got nipples. Let's just...
Exactly. That's true. Everybody does. Yeah, everybody does.
I fucking hate that to be on my tombstone. They were like,
everybody has nipples.
Except Rob.
Good shit, and that's what you use. Yeah, so I digress. So when it comes to like to McDojo Life, I had already been in the martial arts for a really long time before I decided to start jiu-jitsu. And I was like, you know what? Like, I want 10 black belts before I die. That's like my ultimate life's goal is 10 legitimate black belts. Not like I got this shit like from a Taekwondo school in a year and a half because I paid him enough money, but like legitimate black belts which would take me anywhere between 8 years to 15 years per black belt. That's like my standard. Wow. And so I refused to get a black belt before then. Like, fuck you. Like, I want to earn it. And half of the battle of anything is experience. And so I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do that and I'm going to make that my life's mission and goal, then I'm going to start jiu-jitsu because I know it's going to take me the longest. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is brutal when it comes to it. Everybody's scrutiny is much different. And sometimes there are guys who have blue belts for 15 years. It's just, it depends. And so I was like, that's where I want to start because I know that will be the hardest road. So I started doing that. I became a blue belt and I wound up becoming a coach rather quickly because I already had experience. I knew basic positioning before I ever even started. So I moved up the ranks fairly quick when it came to getting at least to my blue belt. And when you get to the blue belt, like the stop sign hits and they're like, haha, you're going to be here for fucking ever. Good luck. And so I became a coach and I was working the front desk. And my instructor at the time called me and it was like, yo, dude, I'm not feeling very well. Will you just do me a favor? Which he never did. So I give him credit on that. He was not one of those guys that did it all the time. But that day he wasn't feeling well and he was like, hey, just run the class. Give him like a technique or two, real basic shit. Let him drill. And then after that, let him spar. Like that was it. And I was like, all right, cool, I can do that. So we did that. Then it was a noon class. And then so because it was a noon class, we all just kind of stood around afterwards and we all shot the crap, right? We were all just talking because most of these guys didn't have day jobs. And then we got on the subject of McDojos during that conversation. And then everybody left except for one dude. And that one dude, it was his second class of martial arts ever. And so during that entire conversation, he said nothing. He was real quiet and he was just listening. But he stopped me before I locked everything up and before he left. And he said, what's a McDojo? And I was like, well, I gave him what now are our basis of our 5 rules of how I run the page of what a McDojo is. And he was like, well, when he asked me something, which kind of sparked me, he was like, why doesn't anybody do anything about that? And I was like, that's a good fucking question. Like, there's nobody that really does anything about it. And so like I went home that night and I was like thinking about it. And I really couldn't sleep because I've been in the martial arts industry for fucking ever at this point. And I was like, why doesn't anything? And then I started realizing a whole bunch of things that I've never thought about before. First of all, the martial arts industry as a whole is not regulated whatsoever. I mean, fuck, if you want to be a barber, you have to go to school. If you want to be a mechanic, you have to go to school. If you want to be a martial arts instructor, you just have to say that you are. That's it. You can make up your own style. You can be like Rob Kwon-Do, and I'm a 37 black belt.
Hey, Kwon-Do, Napoleon Dynamite.
That's right. And I go home to Starla at night looking like this guy.
Didn't Benavidez do that? Didn't he have a piano belt?
Did he go home to Starla?
Yeah, he did. He did have a piano belt.
No, yeah, Benavidez. I totally remember that. Anyways.
Yeah, he did. I remember that.
Wait, really quick, Rob, could you describe, just for the audience that people don't know that are not in the martial arts world, what is the 5 tenets? How would you describe a McDojo to the average person?
So the goal of my page is really kind of to unify martial arts a little bit more so that way it self-regulates, which jiu-jitsu does really well. Jiu-jitsu out of every martial art from what I've seen self-regulates fantastic. If there's a fake black belt, best assured that there's going to be like 5 dudes who are on a road trip to that guy's school and fuck that dude up, right? And I don't necessarily think that's the best way to do it, but it does work. But the 5 rules are really simple, right? For what I do. First of all, pedophiles. Pedophiles have no, like you laugh, right?
Yeah.
But there are over 450 cases of pedophilia in the martial arts starting from 1995. Pedophilia is so relevant. I guarantee.
So crazy.
By all means, please do this now because I'm so confident about this. If you Googled martial arts molestation,
I'm not Googling that, man. Don't fucking trick me in that shit.
Because that's already in his history.
Oh,
okay?
don't you worry.
That's already in his history.
Has already got your watch list on. So.
It goes, are oranges keto? Then it goes martial arts molestation.
Oranges keto. No.
The martial arts bitch and complain about everything that's not important.
Yeah,
they do. Like, we're a very self-deprecating job, right? We look at the guy and go, well, that guy sucks because his school's too easy. Ours is better. Or that guy gives away belts too fast. His guy's got black belts in like 3 years. Bitch, BJ Penn got his black belt in 3 years. Is that a standard or is it a guideline? We complain about all this bullshit that doesn't matter, but we ignore the pedophiles, which is rampant because, again, it's not a regulated thing. So what a lot of people do is they can't get a job anywhere else, so they'll start a martial arts school, and then because they're not put on a registry, which there are way too many that are, that they can just open up a school. Yeah. So that's rule number one, right? I think we can all agree, no matter what martial art you do, that you shouldn't fucking do, right?
And I just searched it too.
Well,
Gilbert doesn't agree. He doesn't agree.
There's a lot too. I just searched it, and it's insane.
I feel like every month there's a new jiu-jitsu guy that gets popped for molestation,
harassment, sexual harassment,
rape, there's something
good. So a lot of people think that a McDojo is only schools that don't teach good martial arts. Well, there are people like Lloyd Irvin who literally his entire team was he was conning people, they were raping women, and they were like, what, give him a pass because he's good at martial arts? Fuck that. Fuck him.
Yeah.
If Lloyd Irvin hears this, he could suck my balls.
Lloyd Irvin calling you out, dude.
Yeah, we're canceling him as our guest next week. Fuck. Shit. All right, don't ask about
that'll show you, dude.
Yeah.
But please be on the show.
No. When I heard about all that stuff that went down, I was actually kind of in shock because he was so well respected within the community. And you're like, oh fuck, there's some scumbags in here. And then talking to Nick and learning more about, there's just scumbags everywhere in this industry.
There's a name that I really like to bring up too, and I like to bring up because I hope it pisses him off. There's a guy named David Arnbeck. So David Arnbeck is a direct black belt. He's like a 5th degree black belt under Hickson. So because he had that lineage of, oh fuck, you're a black belt under Hickson, right? This dude molested a 15-year-old girl in his house. In his home.
God.
He molests a 15-year-old girl. He goes to court. He winds up getting some type of a plea deal. And the plea deal makes it so that way he doesn't have to be put on a sex offender registry. This asshole molested a 15-year-old girl and still owns 3 schools today. And he still teaches kids today.
You could do that? You could just be like, hey, don't put my name on the list. That's so crazy.
That's crazy that that's legal to just say that.
Well, it was because of the plea deal that he took. But the asshole, this is how guilty he is. He's so guilty that he winds up making his own website called davidarnbeck.com. And the entire website is nothing but him admitting that he does this.
We're all looking it up now.
I'm looking at it while he's he's saying it.
I guess he's going full transparency, but that's
there's a reason that I don't get sued because none of the shit that I'm saying is false. It's all real.
Exactly.
Fucking try to hit me with libel or slander, feel free. I'll counter sue. I don't give a shit.
So the first one is that one. What are the other 4 things?
Oh, sorry, I go on the that one's important to me. There's way too many of those. So
I know, I respect it. That's so important too because you're right. A lot of kids, families are involved with this.
There's a free trial on David Arnbeck, so maybe we should try that out afterwards. Okay, guys, what do you think?
Yeah, cool. Let's sign up.
And when you get there, just be like, all right, so where do we learn about the plea deals?
Yeah. Hey, just how to talk to lawyers, how to get out of pedophile cases.
Yes, I think you know our instructor, Sensei Cohen. If you can just bring him in. So number 2 is shady business practices. So I'll give you an example, right? If I go to a martial arts studio, let's say an ATA, because ATA is known for people calling it a McDojo, which I personally don't think it is for many reasons. One, I respect Mike Chatterata, but a fuck ton. XMA really set a standard for a lot of people to guide themselves into Hollywood. I know people who made an entire career off of not being fighters, but being Hollywood stunt professionals or actors. I don't think there's wrong with that because it's not labeled as something that it's not.
There's other places to go.
Yeah, but there's plenty of other places to go, right? But I'm saying, my homies over at Jam, man, fucking Jam. Is awesome, right?
Nick's been there. Alex been there.
So there's a lot of places to go. But what I am saying is, at least there's some transparency there. You go, they're not lying to you. They're going to say, it's going to cost you this much. My problem is when they lie to you, when they say, all right, this is how much it's going to cost. And then you get there and there's an extra fee. There's an extra testing. Then you got to get this uniform. Then you got to get this gear. And then if they don't tell you that off the bat, that's a con. They've conned you.
Bro, Joe Corley.
Or that's a different conversation for a different day. Yeah, that's a great name, by the way, if anybody wants to look that one up. But I digress. So like if you
I got one of my black belts there.
But if you look at like things that are even worse, it's like that kind of stuff. But we actually had a guy where I'm from who, when students were late on payment, he would knock on their door at their house and strong arm them for the money. Like he would literally beat people up who were late on payments. Like that's pretty shady business practice, to say the least, you know,
or very upfront.
Excuse me, it's either you give me the money now or I break your legs. The next rule is no touch knockouts or cult-like behavior or mislabeling techniques.
Oh my Lord. Those are my favorite videos you post. Oh my God.
What do you mean, Alex?
And they just fly everywhere and disappear and shit.
Well, you guys just haven't seen the right videos yet. I can show you guys a collection.
You haven't found the right.
You have to open your mind a little bit, okay? You guys, come on.
Well, like, so no touch knockouts obviously is like real far out there, right? But there are hundreds of thousands of people who believe this, especially in Indonesia. In Indonesia, there's a practice called tenaga dalam. And tenaga dalam is like inner energy, is kind of what it translates to roughly. And it's so indoctrinated that people who don't even do martial arts believe in it. And like, but it's so in our trailer for our documentary, we actually even showed kids lying down. They were like between the ages of 8 and 13 years old. And the camera zoomed into them and you see like a couple kids. And then as it zooms back, oh, fuck, there's like 9 or 10 kids here. Then it zooms back more and you see just thousands of people. I wish that was an exaggeration, but thousands of people watching this. And then it backs up a little more and you're like, oh, that's weird. There's like a little ramp here. Usually that ramp is for cars. Oh, shit. There's a diesel-sized truck that is about to go onto this ramp and then run over the kids. Problem here is the kids are this low and the ramp is this high. And so the ramp goes up and then it lands on the first kid, immediately killing the kid. This kid was maybe 13 years old. And then you see his little leg twitching and shit. Then it runs over the second kid. But when it runs over the second kid, it stops on the second kid. It doesn't keep going. Like that's how that trick is supposed to be done. Is you're supposed to keep going and momentum is what saves them. It stops.
What the fuck, dude?
The third kid's like, fuck that. And he moves, right? And then the truck runs over the rest of the kids. Then all these people who for some reason thought this was an amazing idea to begin with run in and try to save the kid. The first kid dies. It's fucking awful. That's the worst part of my job is saying shit like this. And obviously it's not shit that I can post. But the first kid dies and they were able to revive the second kid, but who knows how much injury or damage he has.
Fuck.
That's the kind of shit I have to watch all the time. It's like constant. So I post the funny shit, right? Because comedy and satire get people's attention.
Sure.
People don't want to watch someone die. And
that
so
happens. That totally happens, apparently.
And so that's because that martial art is so ingrained, that behavior, that practice is so ingrained in that culture that they believe that it will actually save their life. And even more famous video, which was done, is most of you have probably seen this by now because it was super viral, was a guy who went out there to find out about this practice. And the master of this had a sword. It was not a sword, but like a machete. And he was like, oh, this guy is like making the chi around his arm so he can strong it. And then he takes the machete and he hacks his arm thinking that it will actually protect him. And he actually just starts bleeding everywhere because a machete is actually still sharp as hell. So
he didn't channel his inner energy enough. That's what it is, but whatever.
Yoshi's torso, man.
But the other half of that rule is mislabeling techniques. If I go to a cardio kickboxing class and they say, this is a cardio kickboxing class, this isn't for self-defense, this is just for you to lose weight, maybe you'll learn some techniques. Hopefully, if you have a good cardio kickboxing class, they'll teach you how to do it correctly so you don't fuck up your elbow or fuck up your shoulder or your hips or your knees. And then they're like, this isn't for self-defense, it's just for weight loss. That's cool. If you go into a cardio kickboxing class and then they lie to you and say that this is straight up for self-defense, yeah, you can defend yourself after doing this, that's horseshit. hurt because that's not how self-defense fucking works, right? And so
you have to outwork them. So going off of that, how do you feel about CrossFit self-defense? I would love to hear
is it?
No, I didn't think it was a thing, and I saw a couple of videos, and I was like, "Oh, this is a thing."
So that guy's name, and I'm going to say this before I say his name. I will say this: this guy is probably one of the only guys who actually called me immediately. He found my number somehow.
That's funny.
And called me immediately after I called it out. And his name is Tony Blower, and so I respect him.
Tony's dope. He's dope.
Tony is not a bad dude. So, but like. The problem with Tony is that Tony made the spear system, which makes sense, which is all about like handling stressful environments in a quick period of time, right? So I there's some good stuff in there. It's hit or miss, like a lot of like things like that, right? There's some good, some bad, but mostly he's doing the right thing. When he did that CrossFit shit, I immediately posted that shit. I was like, fuck, this is bullshit. That's because like they're trying to tell you that like basically squatting a medicine ball and
Alex,
pull
pull it up.
Yeah.
Alex, you pull it up.
You're like, that's the exact same mechanics you're going to use for a cross. Like,
Uppercut.
no, that's not how a cross works. There's no, your feet are going to be side by side. Fuck no, they're not. You're going to take a stance, right? You're going to put one foot in front of the other, right?
Well, horse stance is the most powerful stance, but
that's not the same shit at all. And so, like, he called me, and we had like 3-hour conversation about it. And I was like, he was like, here's the reasons why I did it. And I was like, look, man, you can cure cancer for all I give a fuck. I don't care about the things that you did other than this. This is what I'm worried about right now. Save orphan children on your time off for all I give a shit. But this right here is fucked. It doesn't make any sense and it doesn't work. And so after a while, he was cool with it, but it was a program he developed for CrossFit, sold it to CrossFit, and then just was no longer under it anymore.
See, I did not know that. I did not know Tony Blower did that. From the video I saw, it was a very famous video that went around. I think you guys shared it. It was a shaved head dude, and he was showing the mechanics of like exercise, like CrossFit movements, and how it translates into combat. And I was like, oh, dude, this is awful. This is fucking terrible, dude. Oh man, that's hilarious. I had no idea Tony Blower sold it. Hey, make your money, dude.
He made his money, he dipped, and then he was like, and then he did admit, he was like, after I posted it, he was like, he contacted that particular instructor and kind of reamed him out. And like, he showed me the email, like he CC'd me in the email. So I give Tony Blower all the respect in the world that when he did get called out on it, he immediately tried to at least fix it. And so that's all we can really hope, because most people just double down. They're like, fuck you, it works. And then they just move on. But he was at least like, I don't agree with how that instructor explained it. That's not how the system's supposed to work. That guy just got caught on camera. It wound up getting a thing, becoming a big deal. And so, but that was Tony Blower made that.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
I can't find the video anymore. I really can't.
But that was my question. That was one of my main questions, was because I've been following this page for a very long time. McDojo Life, I've been following it for a very long time.
That's how they pay the bills.
My question is, I always wondered, where do you get some of these videos? Because I feel like I search on the internet for this stuff and I can never find it. And then you like have these like gems, and I'm like, where is he finding this stuff at?
Napster.
And LimeWire.
No, man, it's half the battle is, one, I do have a large audience now, so I get people who send me a lot of stuff. So I'm grateful for most of it's regurgitated. Like if something goes viral, I'll wind up getting the same thing like 100,000 times. And what I'll do is I'll send each one of those people a message, which is basically, hey man, I've seen this, but I really appreciate you sending it. And I answer every direct message.
That's awesome.
But that's how you get people to interact and stay with you. That's retention. But at the same time, I'm really am appreciative that there's a community that's willing to take at least a second out to even give 2 fucks who I am, because I don't think I'm that important. And so when they send me stuff like that, I'm just grateful. So I want to say thank you. But the other half is knowing the players in the game. And so, like, do y'all want to see something?
Please.
Yeah.
Hold on. So right now I'm in
the show his dick. Oh God.
No, don't worry. You can close your eyes all you want. You'll still see the dick. There's a lot of dick. Can't shield stuff. But like I'm in the production studio right now, and so we're working on.
So we're really quick, just to update everyone. What are you working on? If you can just sum it up, and where are you?
So right now I'm in a production studio. I'm in Fresno, California, and we're working on a documentary about fakes, frauds, and con men and pedophiles in the martial arts.
Yes.
So Here's
That's
a little
awesome.
bit of our content wall, our conspiracy wall.
Dude, that's wild.
It's like a crime scene.
Yeah, we need
Need
the
the
red
lines
string,
everywhere.
dude. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
the red string.
I've already thought about the red line thing. I'm making that. But so we got like our players like Count Dante, right? Who started like the Black Dragon Society. The dude like murdered a guy, got like.
Oh my god.
And then
This
so
is
when we
so
come over here, we get guys like who we got?
George
George
Dillman.
Dillman, who's like the king of no touch knockouts, which we still got a lot to do on him. Then we come over here, we got guys like Frank Dukes, who's like, Bloodsport was fucking awesome, but it was a lie. So then, we come over here. And then who we got right here? We got oh my god!
Oh, I remember this guy.
So we're actually interviewing this guy for our documentary.
Is it the card guy?
really?
The like the one with the was he on a talk show or some shit?
He was. So he was on the Amazing Randy. He was on a show, and then the Amazing Randy called him out for being a fraud. Well, this guy, this guy's story. Hold on, I'm gonna move my shit right here.
I just love that. Everyone you showed is Asian.
So this
That's
fucking
great.
dude, right? James Heydrich gets busted by the Amazing Randy. At the time, James Heydrich in the United States is considered the lead psychic in the world. Like, he's the number one psychic. James Heydrich's like, yeah, that's bullshit. Gets him on a show, calls him out, winds up calling him out as a fraud because obviously you can't move shit with your fucking mind. Well, like after this dude winds up getting busted for buying illegal firearms from students, minors, mind you. After that, he escapes prison. He escapes jail. After he escapes jail, he gets obviously caught again, serves his time, gets out. After he gets out, 6 children come forward and say that he molested them. Which I'm pretty sure I have that news article right here as well. Where the fuck did the news article go? Somewhere around here, right?
And that's where that mustache came from. That's where the fucking pedophile mustache
Delicious
came from. This
mustache.
guy.
Here it is. That's the news article. So you know, man,
my God.
17 years for molesting 5 boys, right? So after that happens, he winds up getting a plea deal, and the plea deal is like
plea
you
deals,
can either go to prison. Gotta love plea deals around here, right? With molesting. But he winds up going to a psychiatric hospital. Guess where that psychiatric hospital happens to be? Only an hour away from our production studio.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
We're gonna be able to interview this guy and talk to him about kind of like a Silence of the Lambs kind of shit. Rather than beating a dead horse, right, and talking about all the shit that he did bad, I want to understand how he did it so we can stop people from falling into the same traps.
Yeah,
You know what?
cool.
You guys are the martial arts version of mind hunters. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that is.
You got mind hunters are the guys that dug deep into profiling serial murderers when they had no idea what these people were doing. So that's what you guys are essentially doing. You guys are the fucking A team trying to figure out who these psychos are and how to stop them from fucking taking advantage of everybody.
Everything I've learned so far is that any white martial arts instructor is a molester. What the fuck is that weird ass stereotype?
So I have one question. Like, if you had to be, if you had to pick the most iconic McDojo, like Michael Jordan icon, who would it be? Who would you think is like
Nick
this
Dunn.
guy's the me?
It's got to be Frank Dukes. Like, Frank Dukes has to be the number one fraud of all time, because not only was he able to convince Hollywood, which if anybody's ever tried to do anything in Hollywood, you understand that there's so much fucking red tape and the odds are so low of you actually being successful that it's damn near impossible to really do and be successful. Like, the odds are against you. This guy had no talent. He had no martial arts skill. He did own a martial arts studio, and I do give him credit. When he was younger, he was okay for what he did, right? But he wasn't like anything special. And he was able to sell a lot so well that Hollywood not only bought it, but they made an entire movie about it. And then they made the movie basically a biopic. They real with no evidence whatsoever. Like, you know, think about the astronomical ridiculousness of the knockout that he had that he says is a world record. He says he knocked a dude out in point something seconds. Like, all right,
wow.
No matter what that point something is, right? Think about Masvidal versus Ben Askren.
Askren.
Yeah.
He ran over and kneed him as fast as humanly possible. And even that is not even close to what this guy said, which is point something seconds is ding. That's it.
I know, right?
and you touch gloves maybe in the middle of the ring, and that's it. So
it had to be a no touch one. It had to be a no touch one.
The lie so good that he convinced people that was even possible.
Wow.
Like, go back and watch Bloodsport. At the end of the movie, the best part of Bloodsport, which always cracks me up, especially when I've been smoking weed, I laugh every time. You watch the end, and the end it rolls all of his world records.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way. There's no fucking way. It's impossible.
This guy must be so charismatic. He must be a fucking legend to talk to. He must be so fascinating.
Sue Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Jean-Claude Van Damme countersues, and he tries to sue the studio.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And all that shit is there's a documentary if you get the opportunity, which is another thing that we've been kind of studying in order to make sure our movie is good. But there's a documentary called Put Up Your Dukes, D-U-X. And it's an hour-long documentary that talks about how Frank Dukes, whether he was a fraud or not. So if you get the opportunity, you want to waste an hour, by all means, please go check that out, because it's very fascinating to look into a fraud's life and listen to people who were around this man. Some people buy the bullshit and some people don't, but it's kind of interesting because they even talk to people because they say his martial art or his military record, they say that he was like, oh, well, that had to be erased because I was doing such covert op shit. And then they talk to a fucking 20-year-old military record guy who just takes care of military paperwork. And he's like, yeah, that's not true. And he talks about how that's impossible for them. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude,
this guy must be that special then if they redacted everything just for him.
Yeah, of course. Because they didn't do that for anybody else, but just him. So I'm glad.
He's MacGruber, dude. He's the fucking real life MacGruber.
Dude, I'm so hyped after seeing your board too. I'm so hyped for your doc, man. I know,
right?
I'm sure there's things you can't talk about in terms of deals and stuff, but we can talk after. But I'm curious of where you're shopping it to, or where if you already have a deal, because this is fucking dope, man.
What what really sucks is I got 500,000 people who follow me worldwide, right? And I'm gonna name drop here because it's still pissing me off. I got the fucking Rock who follows me, Joe Rogan follows the page, and I have no distribution whatsoever. It's nobody gives a fuck about this.
Wait, we'll talk after this, man. We're gonna talk after this. I think I can help with it. This needs to be out to the masses. This is fucking fantastic.
I don't even expect to make any money off of it. I just want to help people.
That's what I think. I think it's good. I think it's good for everybody to see stuff like this. Yeah. It really is, because how funny it is, we've talked about it, how funny it is, but it's for real shit, and people are selling this to people. These people are good at brainwashing people. I feel like we've seen it in UFC fighters. I feel like we've seen it in stuff. These people are so good. I'm sure you guys.
Faraz Zahabi, we're calling you out. You're the worst.
I'm sure you guys,
and you won't take advantage of GSP anymore. Okay.
I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, but I feel like you see it, right? So it's just
I want to know who you're talking about.
Say his name.
I know exactly. You're talking about Joshua Fabia. Hands down, you're talking about Joshua Fabia.
That guy's real.
He's fascinating, though. You guys got to admit, he's fascinating. That guy.
I'm blocked by him and Diego Sanchez, bro.
Are you really?
Follow me. I'm I refuse to put anything up. So check this shit out. So obviously Joshua Fabia is a fucking weirdo, right?
He's amazing.
He's the weirdest dude on the goddamn planet. He's literally chasing guys around with knives in the middle of the octagon.
That was probably the only legit thing I've ever seen him do. Out of all the things he shows, that was okay, all right, maybe there's some validity.
He goes with the Matt Serra and who was it? Dean Thomas.
Dean Thomas, bro, such a good video.
And he confronts him, and he's like, "Dude, I don't know who the fuck you are. Why are you I'm eating fucking breakfast? That'd be like me taking a shit and somebody walking in and being like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. Do you think time?
Yeah, exactly."
Oh my God.
And so but I refuse to say anything bad about Fabian. The reason I originally, it's fair game. I'm waiting for Diego to fucking retire. When he retires, I'm all in. Yeah. But I refuse to do it because around the time Diego Sanchez was doing this, right, there was some weird things that happened that you're just man, maybe people should back off of this a little bit, because whatever was happening to Joshua Fabia or whatever the fuck his name is, Fabia. I'm pretty sure that's right. Whatever. Him was a direct reflection on Diego Sanchez. Well, Diego Sanchez put in his fucking time. Now, as eccentric and as weird as Diego is himself, he put in his time. We can't say that that dude's not legit because his jiu-jitsu is fucking awesome. He was in Ultimate Fighter Season 1. This motherfucker's still around now. Like, you gotta give this dude credit. He's an OG. Now, he's eccentric as fuck, but he's still an OG. Now, he started around the time people started jumping on Joshua Fabia. Fabia is like this weird cult leader who has latched himself on to Diego Sanchez because he's taking advantage, from what I see anyway, of a split between Diego and the
Greg Jackson's,
Jackson Wink. So like all this is not just a coincidence, right? He seemed of like waiting for this moment and being around his life because he was in and out, right? And then all of a sudden, Diego Sanchez is at the end of his career. He's probably going, what the fuck do I need to do in my life? What do I do after this? Well, this guy comes along and says, yo, why don't you become a business partner with me at the School of Self-Awareness? I do believe this.
Yeah.
And so,
great name, by the way. Great name, right?
He's the most unself-aware person on the goddamn
His self-help book is gonna go through the fucking roof. You guys, it's gonna be New York Times bestseller. Like,
and he has a distribution deal already too. So.
Yeah, a book about some poor student who just started the School of Self-Awareness, and they're gonna come out in like 15 years about all the weird shit Fabia fucking does. He's like, he showed up to practice butt naked, and he had like dildos in his ear. It was weird, but we just
and you're gonna be interviewing him. Unfortunately, like you're gonna be talking to the guy in the McDojo documentary part 2. Like,
let's go Netflix. Let's make it happen.
And so, but around that time that everybody was jumping on Fabia because Fabia would go to every interview that Diego went to. Fabia was talking for Diego, which was weird as fuck, right? And they asked Diego Sanchez questions, and Fabia would answer them. And then, like, I do believe, if it wasn't, I think it was the Schmo. So that was the creepiest interview I'd ever seen, because the Schmo has this fucking hot lady, Helena, whatever.
Helen Yee, right?
Oh, her name? Fucking banging, right?
Don't act like you don't know her name, Nick. Don't act.
That's what it is. Well, I didn't know they were dating for a while. I had no idea. I didn't know the Schmo was a stick either. I was like, this guy's crazy.
Right? And so, like, he's got his girl. I'm going to say his wife. I don't know if it's his wife or not, but his girl, right? Because they've been together forever. And she's on the show and he's on the show, and they're interviewing Fabia and Diego Sanchez. And then somewhere around the show, Fabia starts talking about how he feels uncomfortable because of comments that people are making about him online. And then they were like, well, like, it's online. Like, if you didn't want to be online, there's a very easy solution. Just don't fucking be online, right? Yeah. But you're going to be in the limelight. You're going to have to take the heat. We all do. It just is what it is. And so he talks about, well, how does it feel if it happened to you? And then the Schmo is being the Schmo and says something along the lines of like, well, can you kind of explain what you mean? And rather than explaining it verbally, he stands up, walks around the table, and gets like face to face with his girl, like the Helena or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And does this make you feel uncomfortable? And if I'm the Schmo at this point, I'm probably thinking, I'm going to fucking stab you in the neck. Like that is like, what you don't do on a talk show is you don't try to intimidate the host, especially the host's girl, right? And so, like,
especially if she's taller than him, because Joshua Fabia is 5'2".
Yeah, he's like
just like Charles Manson.
And so, but like around that time when all that was happening, Diego Sanchez starts posting stuff on his stories, and I don't know if it was relevant or related, but one of the stories that he had posted was about suicide, about reaching out to a friend and about making sure you're checking on your friends or something like that. Now, whether it was relevant or not, it stood out to me because most people who don't just fucking randomly post about suicide. And this dude happens to be in the middle of like all this internet heat and all these people hating on him. And I was like, do I want to be that guy who posts and it goes viral because I did a video about Fabia and it doesn't affect Fabia because Fabia is a fucking psycho, but it affects Diego Sanchez, and Sanchez like taking it that personally. And I did not want to affect him that way. So I backed the fuck off. And people send me shit all the time about it. I was like, look, I'm not touching it. I'm like, and then randomly out of nowhere, I was doing a live, and then Diego Sanchez hopped in the live and was like, yo, man, I want to talk to you. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, I want to talk to you too. I'd really like to do this like as an interview. Because if we did an interview, I could separate the two. And I could be like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you, psycho fucking Smurf looking motherfucker, right? And I could separate the two. Like, and so, but then after that, he never responded. He stopped following me after that. And I was like, dude, I purposely did not post about this because of you. I didn't want to hurt you. And so like, it was, I don't know. I thought that was a little fucked up. But then again, people tag me on shit all the time. And so I think that winds up giving me a stigma that people think I automatically agree with where I was. And that shit just ain't true, right?
Yeah.
Just because you tag me in some shit don't mean I agree that it should be tagged, you know?
Yeah. No, that was, I think why I got blocked is it was after the Pieta fight, and someone had said something, and my response to it was like, yeah, this was hard for me to watch as well because I love Diego. And I got blocked for it.
Dude, that's crazy what you said.
You were
dude.
being a dick, though. You were being a dick.
You're an
You know what
asshole,
you were
bro.
doing. Yeah, you know what you were doing. All right, let's
Fuck you,
let's
Frost
be real
Hobby.
here. Yeah, we're coming after you, Frost.
What a
Dude, man, we're running a little long, but I fucking love this shit. Like,
This
dude, I
is
feel
the
like we
shit
could have
that
talked.
people
I
need
can
to
talk
hear.
more about this. Is like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to have you on again.
down.
But let's jump to our quick picks for the Overeem Volkov fight. Since we're running out of time, I'm gonna just go down the card and just have your picks so that you can help people out. If you want to do a little bit of
I'm
fight
just gonna let
analysis,
you know,
do
I
that.
am not prepared for this. Absolutely.
Yes, you are.
Neither are we. It's all good. Neither
You
are
are,
we.
bro.
Hey, we're gonna talk about the main and co-main, and then just pick whatever name you like after that.
All right, cool.
Just
You'll
pick
know
whatever
the
name.
main and the co-main though, because there's some OGs.
Yeah.
There's some good fights on this, actually.
Those and skip over the motherfuckers I don't know, so I don't give somebody a bad. They're like, dude, I put money on this. I trusted you. Like, I told you I wasn't ready for this.
All right, guys, let's do our quick pick picks with Lift God, Nick Ear, and McDojo Life. Remember, McDojo's an expert in all this shit, so whatever he says, bet money on it.
Bet the house.
Bet the whole house. Also, let's find distribution for his deal.
Yeah.
Go to
Not help.
GoFundMe.com. All right, guys. Our main event. We're back at the Apex in Vegas. We have Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov. We have OG fighting. I don't know how old he is. Maybe 85 now, but he's still rocking it against Volkov, who is very lengthy. We'll start with Nick. Who do you got and why?
I'm gonna go Alistair just because he's so hot right now. He's looking good.
He's
I'm just gonna
always
have to
sexy, man. He's always
yeah,
sexy.
man. Like he's killing it. He had a big win. I think he's gonna be able to beat Volkov.
Do you know
even
what,
though
like,
he's 7'8".
At his hottest though, you know when he used to do all the pictures when he came to UFC with the alligator, that's when he fucking started losing. So I feel like
Wait, the alligator.
bro, he did a whole photo shoot with an alligator when he went from fucking what's the not
Oh,
Scott
K1
Coker.
and Dream?
No, Scott Coker.
Strike Force.
Oh,
Strike Force UFC.
yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
dude, he was very McGregor like, and he started losing.
I remember my favorite video of Alistair is when he low kicked the little girl with a little tie pad and she just did a somersault. That's
and
my
then
that
died from internal bleeding 2 days later. Yeah, that was funny.
okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Gil.
Fuck you for
Thank you for reminding
Asahabi.
me.
You did the whole video.
That was you. You were filming it.
Alex, who you got?
Yeah, I think I got Alistair Overeem as well. I think he's on a little bit of a ever since he switched camps over to Colorado with like Curtis Blades after he lost to him and stuff like that. I feel like they're game planning a lot better for him for what he needs to do to win fights. So I just think Alexander Volkov's good, but he's a striker. We know Alistair Overeem's a striker, but he's also good on the floor. I think it's going to be more of that. He hurts him, takes him down, and just TKOs him on the ground.
Rob, who you like?
And I gotta say, man, like when you're looking at guys like that at the tail end of their career, there was a fantastic book that was written that's called Fightnomics, and it talks about statistics. So I'm just gonna go off the numbers, like I like how I put Elmer Fudd there. I'm gonna go off the numbers, and I'm actually gonna go Volkanovski. I'm gonna think that when it comes down to
145.
Volkov.
There you go. Thank you.
Whatever, dude. It's the same.
No,
Okay.
it's a
We
fucking
knew what he
different
meant.
person. It's a
We
fucking
knew what he
different person,
meant.
man.
Okay. Jeez.
Like I said, like at the end of the day, if you look at the numbers, like Overeem is kind of towards the end of his career. It's hit or miss right now, unless he pulls like a Glover Teixeira and he's able to kind of make that kind of a thing for him. He's not on the same tear that Glover is. Just because you got a win doesn't mean you're going to get several wins. And it is good, like a boost of confidence, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the numbers are lying. And so he's getting towards the tail end of his career. He's had some really fucking rough fights over the years. Namely, whenever I do believe it's Francis Ngannou knocked his out of his anus with the uppercut. That kind of shit has a toll on you. So I'm just going to go the opposite direction simply because I just think it's kind of towards the end of his career.
There you go.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
I like it. I'm gonna go Volkov just based on the numbers and the fight-nomics as well.
Wait,
honestly,
dude, you gotta come up with your own shit.
No. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna go with the smart guy, Brad Pitt from Moneyball, not you dummies.
It is true. I will say that. I will say that.
Can I be Jonah Hill?
Alistair Overeem has when it's crazy when you look at Alistair's career and you see his losses, and then you see how many of those losses are by knockout. You're like, at some point, I understand what it means, because Volkov is a really good striker. He's big. He knocks people out. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. It definitely is going to be.
Yeah, and Volkov is coming off a win, too, and it was off a TKO. So, I think he's just got that confidence right now as well.
And he has a stingray tattoo on his back. So, next fight, let's go.
Important. Steve Irwin, that motherfucker.
I've never heard anyone. I hope a corner yells that. Steve Irwin, that motherfucker.
Steve Irwin. Abs, Alistair in the chest. Oh my god.
All right, guys, we got our co-main. We got Corey, Nick's favorite, Sandhagen versus Frankie, still in the UFC, kicking it. Edgar. We'll start with Alex. Who you got?
This is hard for me because I've been a fan of Frankie Edgar for so long. But I think Corey Sandhagen takes this fight. I think we've seen recently when Frankie Edgar fights really good strikers, they're starting to be able to catch him now. They're starting to be able to put him down. Corey Sandhagen is a really good striker, really good hands. He's very fast. His footwork's really good. I have a feeling he's going to catch Edgar, which it sucks for me because I love Frankie Edgar, but I wish he would have made this move while back. But I have Corey Sandhagen probably finishing him in the second round.
All right. Rob, who you got?
I think it's a stepping stone fight for Corey. I think they're putting him in a position where he gets to knock out a legend or hurt a legend and solidify his career while he's saying goodbye to Edgar's career, and Edgar gets to make the decision what he wants to do from here on out. But I just don't see Edgar winning that fight. Now, I could be fucking wrong, but just looking at what I'm seeing, it seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to put Corey in a position where they could say, hey, you fought this guy, you can put him on your resume now, so that way we can boost you and make you look good. And Edgar's kind of at the tail end of his career, and he'll get to make the decision if he wants to leave on his shield and say, yo, I retire, or if he wants to continue fighting, or if the UFC is just like, yo, dude, it's time for you to stop.
Nick, who do you got? And keep in mind, he beat Munoz.
Yeah, based off the book Fightnomics, I just think that when you see fighters,
I'm gonna start using that for every pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking steal that line.
It makes you sound better too.
And I'm like, dude, this guy reads, and I'm like, I don't read at all.
Tell me I'm wrong. Read the book.
No, for sure.
Based on Bernstein Bears, go to the castle.
But especially on with fighting sports and contact sports, you gotta always favor the younger fighter across the board. Corey Sandhagen looked amazing in his last fight. Frankie Edgar beat Pedro, but his timing looked a little off. He just didn't look like the same Frankie. So it is a stepping stone fight, and Corey's so hot right now. So I'm gonna go with the hot guy.
Nick, you talked about a fighter's age. I have one word for you, DC. So I'm gonna go Edgar because you guys are fucking idiots and respect the former champ. All right, have you fought in Japan? Have you fought Ben Henderson in Japan? I don't think none of you have. So I'm going Frankie Edgar all day. Take him down. Decision. Let's go.
I didn't fight Ben Henderson in Japan, but I did see Dan Henderson singing Margaritaville in a karaoke bar in Vegas. Does that count?
Ooh, that counts. I think that's better.
Yeah, Gilbert, you idiot.
But fine. I choose Dan Henderson. Damn it. Why did he make me do that? It makes no sense. All right, guys. Feel free just to say names on these. We got Marion Renou versus Macy Chiasson or Chiasson? Chiasson. I'm gonna go ahead, Alex.
I got Macy because she's a shopper at Super Rare Fight Goods, baby. So I think I forgot about this real quick. McDojo, you guys did a collab with Bangarang, who's one of the people that we sell at Super Rare. They're like really close friends with the owners of Super Rare. So
but I bought a whole bunch of shit when I was in New York for Super Rare. I still got like an A2D. I still got like all that shit. I love it.
Do you know Dylan?
I work at the LA shop.
I don't think so. I just went into the Super Rare. Like, I was like, dude, I fucking love this store. Like, there's not too many stores like it. And so when I went in, there's another one that's in Cali, and I forget what it's called. But I went in there.
LA.
No, there's another fight shop.
Oh, I was
There's
so confused.
OTM.
OTM. Yeah. So like OTM is like, there's only a few of those. And it's like, dude, I'm going to open up my restaurant and blow everybody out of the fucking water, son. Y'all ain't even going to know what's going to hit y'all. I got the idea and a half for a restaurant.
Yeah.
Alex, make that intro happen. Nick, who you got?
I'm gonna go Macy as well.
There you go.
Cooler haircuts.
Rob, who you got?
Well, if anybody who's a fan of Super Rare, I'm a Super Rare fan too. So we're gonna go with Macy. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Macy too because they're gonna be Super Rare as a potential sponsor of this show. So let's get in the family. Macy all the way. Fuck Marion, who's with Venom. All right, we have Pantoja and Cape or Cape. I actually don't know Manel. I'm not familiar with that fighter. Does anyone know who that is?
I'm not familiar with him, so I'm gonna choose Pantoja because I know that he's good. Same here. I honestly don't know who Manel Cape or Cape, whatever however you pronounce it. I don't know who it is.
Rob, you know any of these? You know Manel?
I know neither one of these people, so I'm gonna shoot for the referee. I think the referee wins.
Herzog just comes in tackles. Who you got, Nick?
I'm gonna go with Pantoja. He's pretty legit.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I liked him on the Ultimate Fighter. All right, we got Stanman versus Ewell.
These are good fights. Ewell, yeah. That's a hard fight because they're both really good. But I like Cody Stamen. I don't know. You remember like one of the fights a while back, like his brother had just like died.
Passed away,
yeah, like a week before or something like that. He's good, bro. He's really, really good. He's strong. He's like a short little like juggernaut kid.
I thought he was a 55er when I saw him fight.
Yeah.
He's
so I got Cody Stamen. I think he wins.
Awesome. Nick, who you got?
I got a Cody Stamen. I saw Andre Ewell fight Jonathan Martinez, and he won that fight, but he got beat up that whole fight. It was a pretty bad robbery.
He lost that fight. Yeah, he did.
So I think I'm gonna go with Cody Stamen.
Roberto, how you feeling?
Yeah, y'all convince me, man. I'm gonna go with Stamen or Staman or like most of you very confident in your answers, and I am not prepared for this. So I probably
no worries.
No,
yeah, y'all sound confident. Go with that.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go with what you guys said too. All right, because he said it the way Staman. I kind of like the way he said that last name.
Hey, Staman probably better.
Staman, bro. Let's make Staman win.
Dude, that's like turning Siegel into Seagal. Like
that's exactly the same.
Glasses, come on.
How was that on a McDojo? How was fucking Steven Seagal?
He was on there today. I posted him today.
Oh, there you go. Well, I guess it is. All right, we got our final one. We got Ferreira, or is it Ferreira? Yeah.
Fiera
versus our boy. I'm gonna just say him, Dariush. I'm going Benel all day, knockout.
Yep.
Alex,
I got Diego. Diego looked good in his last couple fights. I got Diego. I like Benil Dariush, but I think Diego
he looks great in all his fights. Are you kidding me? Dariush?
Right. I know.
He's a silver fox, that guy. I got Dariush.
There you go. Me too. Rob, you know Benel, right?
I got the ring card girl. I think the ring card.
Ooh.
I think she's going to wind up winning second round via rear naked choke.
Top rope elbow drop. That's how she gets it started.
I hope those picks helped you, especially the ones Rob had. So make sure. And if you get if you got those fights wrong, hit him up on his DMs. He'll answer them.
I will.
That guy out.
Oh, dude, I lost so much money on you because I bet on the ring card girl. I'll be like, your own fucking fault.
But they were good odds, though. There were some good odds.
Very good
plus
odds.
900.
Not bet that. I mean, one. Put $1.
Guys, once again, you can follow us on the We Out Here MMA show. You can follow Alex at LiveGod, Nick at Nick the Ear, and Rob. Just really quick, is there any news you can tell us? At least a hopeful plan of when the doc could be out, and also what's the name of it?
Yeah, man. So name currently is tentative, but we're just going with McDojo Life because we already have a brand based around it, so it makes it really easy. But the other thing is we start filming Monday. So I literally start filming our first day Monday.
That's legit.
Tomorrow. So
nice.
Needless to say, I have like 500,000 people staring at me waiting for me to do this shit correctly. So no big deal, just a little nerves. So I'm gonna say that if you really want to keep up with it, and if it's truly something that you're invested in and you would like to see do well, then go to McDojo Life DOC, McDojo Life DOC on Instagram. It's a private page for anybody who has donated because it's all crowdfunded 100%. If you'd like to go there and you'd like to donate a little something, you'll get behind the scenes footage. You'll get access to that private page. You'll get updates on everything that's going on. Oh shit, that's quick. Oh, that's awesome. I was like, what's going on? My computer broke.
Why is Michael Scott here?
Because the office is the shit. But yeah, definitely go to McDojo Life DOC. And it's for anybody who has donated to the campaign. Now, it says 398 followers. That is not true. We've had a ton of people who've donated through our original crowdfunding campaign. So if anybody's out there listening and you have donated, just go to McDojo Life DOC and then send us a direct message. And then give me just any proof that you've donated anything. If you've ever bought a t-shirt, if you've ever sent a dime to us whatsoever, you get access to that page because you supported what we're doing. So I want to support you and make sure that you keep updated with what's going on.
That is awesome. Once again, guys, that's McDojo Life on Instagram. Also, Rob, have you ever talked about this doc on a podcast? Is this the first time you've talked about it, or
no?
Do people know about this, or
yeah, people have heard about it, and like I've talked about it, but then again, we got pushed back. Like we've been in pre-production for 3 years because of.
That's how it is for docs, though, is it not?
Yeah. Good times. Nothing's more fun than constantly waking up going, will this ever happen? But then after we got, we were ready. We were ready to go. And we were originally set to film in April of last year. But then March is when the original COVID lockdown started hitting. So me and Steve were like, yo, let's take a step back. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how serious this is. And then we were like, let's give it a couple months and then we'll film in August. And then August rolls around and I get all of our stuff ready, all of our advertisement, all of our crowdfunding stuff ready to go. We already have all the money sitting in an account. And then it's like, all right, I'm going to leave next week. All right, let's be prepared. And I set up a road trip like I already did. And then the day before I'm supposed to leave on the road trip, California goes through like one of their hard lockdowns again. And so now after that, after a while, me and the crew were like, all right, well, do you just want to say fuck it and film anyway? And they were like, yep. And so that's where we are right now. So
there you guys go. Make sure you go support Rob and the whole project. I mean, you heard a lot of the stories he was talking about, some of these crazy dudes they're going to be following. So please, guys, go support him. We're going to be supporting it, and we want this to fucking make it to Sundance and Tribeca and Tiff. And guess what? Be bought for $25 million and be streaming everywhere. Ooh. Let's go, guys. That was our show. We love you guys so much. See you later.